Hello, everyone, and welcome to Heavy Mecha, our Lancer RPG live play here on Chromatic Chimera. So I've realized, guys, that there's something I have not been doing since, like, the first session, and none of y'all have ever mentioned it, and that is introductions. We've kind of just been diving in without ever talking about who our wonderful players are.
I literally haven't thought about it until you just mentioned this exact moment.
Right. Yeah, like I turn the stream on and just like my mind just blanks for a second, and then I read my script so that I can actually talk. So, hello everyone. I am the fictional historian. You can find me on Twitter at fictionalhist, as well as on Instagram if you want to see me paint miniatures and stuff. Fictional historian. We are joined by our fantastic cast. We have Noir. If you would like to say anything about yourself, you are actually free to.
Oh, hey. Hi, I'm Noir Enigma. You can find me on all the socials under Noir Enigma. That's your Facebooks, Instagram, SoundClouds, and Twitter, but not so much Facebook. Yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
We have Norian.
Name's Orient. How you doing? You can find me also on most any social. I believe is it? On Twitter at GameDadJF. I'm technically I have a Facebook, but yeah, kind of the same. I'm not really doing too much of the book face. And you can find me on Twitch.tv/Anorient, as you see written. I stream usually Tuesdays and Thursdays, and looking to add another day.
Solid stream. Always enjoy that. And Meg.
Hi, I'm Meg. I'm MJ Unraw at Twitter. That's really the only social I have. I'm not like y'all with just streaming. Well, I do. I have a YouTube channel. I sometimes upload music too, but don't worry about that. Otherwise, you can find that on my Twitter as well. Otherwise, yeah, just here and excited to play some robots.
What kind of singing? Can you do like an outro for us? It's like an anime outro where it's like some vague love song that makes no sense in the context of anything that's happening.
I should be able to do that.
Oh my god, I want to do that so bad. Okay, we're gonna work that. We're gonna talk. We're gonna work that out.
Sing the big ol' outro song.
Big outro. This unnecessarily heavy ballad or
Oh
something.
yeah, exactly.
This has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Why are you staring forlornly out at the ocean? You've never been to an ocean.
Alright, so also want to give a shout out, as always, to Retrograde Minis. They do our fantastic miniatures. Have been kind enough to let us use them for a stream. Check them out at retrogrademinis.com for both your mech and fantasy miniature needs. They have also a whole selection of fantasy 2D minis that are really great. With that, let's go ahead and get into it. Union. Foundation Day reset all clocks, replacing countless calendars and dating systems with one coherent timeline. Year Zero marked the beginning of a new age and the redemption of a people. The bruised stewards of an old and aching world had one more chance at peace. Everything found in the vaults was given freely to the people, who organized in democratic groups and whose representatives met in a single shared campus. The tools of safe flight and clean power spread across Cradle. Reliable networked communications bound Union across continents. All of new humanity benefited from incredible advances in medicine, computing, and all other sciences, the bounties of the past given to the people, with no kings or emperors or bosses to jealously guard them. Over time, researchers revealed much of the story of the fall, of old humanity's desperate rush to preserve what it could, so that future generations could begin anew with all the knowledge of those who came before. Union's archaeologists and anthropologists unearthed technologies that could have saved the world, but were discovered too late or kept from humanity by their owners, who only tried to save, or worse, enrich themselves. Unlike its predecessors, Union had no such restrictions on time or license. As planners and administrators nurtured a new humanity to live in gentle coexistence with the world upon which it lived, some began to look out towards the depths of space. Newly discovered records spoke of inhabited worlds and distant stations of ancestors who escaped to the stars. Never a priority to Union before, the stars took on a new meaning. Their ancestors might still be out there, and humanity might not be alone. With approval from the United Communities of Cradle, whose representatives formed Union's first Central Committee, or FirstCom, Union began the great work of reaching those stars. Dormant satellites were found strung in Earth's orbit, ancient shipyards hanging in space. On Luna, explorers found dusty colonies, empty but for the mummified remains of the people who once lived there. On Earth itself, investigators found charts, logs, trajectories. They found old telescopes, radio towers, and laser communications complexes preserved in deep ice on mountain tops and high places over the world. They pointed them to the stars, turned them on, and waited. The first messages arrived almost immediately, and with them came the third great trauma. The voices of old humanity, thousands of years ancient and dead, carried on signals garbled by radiation, time, and distance, crying out to their home for help. Lost souls that begged for aid, guidance, and their loved ones. Millennia of messages recorded and playing on endless, decaying loops for the survivors to hear. This was the voice of old humanity as Union had never expected it. A desperate cry for help, a lonely gasp as the air ran out. A plea unanswered as the lights grew dim. Shaken and sobered, FirstCom resolved to answer those calls and to ensure that whatever had caused them would never happen again. Old orbital stations were retaken. Vast machine minds, the first artificial intelligences, were reactivated and set to puzzle out solutions that humanity could not. New ships, proud and able, were launched towards those old signals, along those ancient charted paths and out towards new worlds. Union could not bring their dead back home, but they would choke the stars with the living. But that's an old story. Now, we are on Ithaca, and I believe it is time for an investigation.
Right.
Our group had gone out in their mechs first. That went a little shaky. Having returned now, I believe we were planning to head out to the second city and try to discover some information about your enemy in the hopes that the next time you'll have a little more forewarning.
So it's the next morning, I take it? We
Yeah.
rested?
Yes, this we'll pick up basically. Y'all had taken the night to yourselves. Probably actually a couple of days as y'all kind of prepped for everything. A day or two to do whatever preparations y'all needed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna shore up my disguise and get set on finding the dingiest bar possible.
Okay.
Delilah's been working on her mech for the most part, so I think that she's just kind of coming into the room right now, finally, having been released from her punishment.
Yeah, you've learned a lot about mechs in the last couple of days.
So much about mechs.
Meanwhile, William's going to be coming in to wherever they are meeting. Obviously, since he couldn't finish, but still focused, hyper-focused on his idea from last night. He's just got random scraps, and he keeps scribbling on them and then staring at it for a second, throwing it to the side and muttering to himself as he keeps going.
Awesome. All right, so we had 4 basic tasks that we were looking to do. Y'all were going to investigate some of the printer activity, what's been kind of coming in and out of the city via the printer. Of the 2 cities, only the first city has a printer, and so everything goes out that the second city needs has to come through this first city, essentially. So there's going to be records of what has been made, has been doled out, essentially, and y'all are hoping to find some sort of clues in that. William had wanted to get into some of the emails going in and out of the second city, maybe find out some information about what its inhabitants are up to, if any of them are up to nefarious things, contact points possibly for the Ace's troops on the ground, as it's quite clear that they are at least somewhat involved in the second city. Yes, James was going bar hopping, hoping to find the most wretched hive of scum and villainy, where he assumes he will find the...
Doesn't hurt to look.
Doesn't hurt to go to the bar, I guess.
I mean, it can never be that bad, right?
Y'all make sacrifices for the team.
And then just kind of looking for any sort of unexpected gatherings within the city itself.
Yeah, I've got my whole identity as somebody leading against the union. So yeah, I'm ready to go.
Okay. Yes, and James had also put together a whole.
Walter Cockrag. Yes.
Yep.
Right, your foolproof alias.
Figure I'd
Foolproof.
give you the chance to drop that one on the viewers. Okay, so what are we doing first?
Getting a coffee after my run. Dell plan number 1. So do we want to check where the printer's been sending stuff to so we can find like that bar in the right area first? I think that might not be the bad idea. No? Plan things out in advance instead of...
The printer is also the only thing that's in the first city. So,
and since we're already here, so...
It's either going to be first or last, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
The plan sounds good.
Yeah, sure it does. Okay, cool. We're gonna... should check in on where the printer's been divvying out resources to, if there's anything big or unusual that we need to track. And then emails, and then we'll kind of zero in on that, triangulate, and then find your CD bar.
Sounds like
100%.
What do you think, Will? Is that a good plan?
Not me. Sounds fair to me. I mean, it's the worst that could happen.
Don't ask that question.
Rolling over to James.
James just like finishes putting on a fake beard and goes, "Call me Walter."
You know we're all gonna die, right? You do
Eventually.
know that, right?
I want to be optimistic and as supportive, but last time we went out in the field, my mech exploded, so I don't know at this point.
Yeah, you really got to be more careful.
I'm gonna punch you, man. Pot calling kettle black over here. Okay.
We're all gonna die.
Okay. Well, we will be fine as long as we just, kind of take it cautious and slow, because we don't know what resources this guy has. So we just gotta, direct ourselves accordingly, and maybe we won't get blindsided.
We're all professionals. We got this.
Yes.
You do get
Some of us
paid to
are
do things. That
professionals.
is the definition, strict definition of a professional. That is
The textbook definition.
cannot be taken from you.
I have a license.
No matter what else you do.
Oh no.
And y'all do know the head of the printing facility. Y'all been introduced to a man named Shimongo. He is the head of the printing facility, as well as y'all are more or less just across the street from it. They're not going to drive large sections of mechs very far when they don't need to. So y'all's hangar has been set up pretty close by for when they need to, print y'all new mechs. That happens from time to time.
Some more often than others. All right. All right, let's go see Shmongo then.
Okay. Easy enough to ask after. He's probably in a control room in the facility, knowing who you are, except maybe James, who gets some strange looks.
I know who you are. Versus I am aware of your presence. What's your
y'all are pointed in that direction. Seeing y'all come in and giving two of the three of you kind of a knowing nod and then kind of a confused glance at Walter.
Don't worry about it.
They're just.
It's fine.
Also, I managed to get the introductions, and then once again forgot to change
The episode number?
yes.
Just realizing this now.
Always. Hey, this is way sooner than the majority of times. Normally it's like hour 2.
That's a fair point.
And I can spell. There we go. Okay, close enough. All right. Shimongo will greet you all as you'll come in. How can I help you?
Good morning, Shmongo. I'm Delilah Bishop. This is William Lee and Walter Cronkite, and and we were hoping that we could look at your records for what has been distributed recently. There's been some activity for mechs being built off of or outside of the city, and we were wondering if someone might have been misusing the facilities here.
We can certainly I can certainly guide you through some of them, but mechs, those are fairly involved things. I can guarantee you that nothing that large has come out of here without my knowledge.
That's all right. Sometimes it's just resources that are being, allocated in weird ways. Anything strange is what we're looking for here.
Are you looking for... Strange can be difficult. We print everything the city might need. You'd be amazed the sort of things that people don't think of when they're talking about the needs of a city that ultimately I get to see. do you have anything more specific? That's a lot of records.
I'm trying to think of what might be useful in this kind of situation. Has there been anywhere recently that has ordered a large amount of, like an obscene amount of plastics and constructive materials to make action figures?
Action figures. He'll go through. He kind of pulls up one of the computer terminals. He'll start going through and start pulling up the different things.
I'll distract him. You guys hack the system.
I'm stupid. I'm not that stupid.
Dell's not saying that out loud, but
But is Meg saying that out loud?
Meg's kind of saying
Is that the actual goal? Well, do we want to do that?
it was a suggestion. It's not a requirement.
It's not
Dell would like to keep things above board. I'm an agent of chaos.
It wouldn't be the first time we hacked a city.
Nope.
I'm really trying not to do it.
Are you trying to keep your cover?
I don't know nothing about none of that and nothings.
Nothing about that city hacking. Nothing
None
about that.
about none of that
Nope,
nothing.
not nothing about that. No,
Not
no,
one
no.
dang on.
Oh goodness.
All right. Well, Shimongo on the terminal start pulling up different things that more or less might match your description.
Anything to the second city specifically.
Okay. Well, he will add some filters and that.
Add some filters.
You see, the stuff that comes up is all traceable to reputable, toy manufacturers. The standard sort of stuff. You knowing what you are looking for specifically, you can kind of help cut down some of it, and you cannot source the specific action figures. Knowing what you're looking for, you can't find anything.
No, there wouldn't be a way to source the specific action figures. More like the material components to build one, like ordering the plastic for the manual printers.
The printer. So printers basically just take huge cartridges of just generalness. So from what y'all know of those action figures, the printers they were printed on are basically the same as this one, just smaller. So it's not like they would need stuff from this printer to go to that printer. Mm-hmm. Presumably, the Corbulo printers have their own supply of stuff. But yeah, looking for anything like tangential that maybe they might have needed to do that sort of like tooling, maybe would probably be. But no, nothing related to the action figures, it appears.
No. What do we think? Anything that might be related to the production of dropships themselves, or more something like military hardware?
Trying to think what could be useful.
Yeah. Is there a way to see if something was printed via this printer? Like if something we found earlier was created by?
Yeah, that's we've with some doing, as long as the item has some sort of electronic component, you can generally sorts a thing back to its original printer.
All right, I'm gonna check that broken CompCon from the sexy robot from earlier against this printer.
Oh yeah, that one definitely would go back to the. Actually, more likely, that one's not even from the Corbulo printer. That's from like a Dalvos printer.
Okay.
That was from their home planet.
Okay, so he's just gonna go. Oh, okay. Not what I thought. He put it back.
So I'm going to ask about military hardware, that sort of thing. It seemed to be kind of the direction y'all were going.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Shimago's kind of like starts pulling up various different sections, categories. Will I don't. That's really not a thing we do. You know, we do some light hardware for local police, that sort of thing. It's not like we've printed any tanks, but as far as I know, the Second City hasn't ordered any guns.
It couldn't hurt to check.
He keeps digging, and it's one of those moments of like the typing like starts to slow, and they haven't ordered any guns in a long time.
Not even for their local police.
No.
Yeah.
Have guns been getting made?
He goes through and he'll show you there was kind of like regular orders for, especially for ammunition. You know, you have to train and stuff, and there's a hard stop where it stopped being including in like weekly orders or even in the last month or so.
In the last month or so.
That's unusual.
It's one way to word it.
What makes you ask about the Second City?
They lack access to a printer, and they have had some interesting developments recently with a particular mech toy being distributed among the civilians. So, for the fugitive that we're looking for.
Ah, I see. If you're asking me for military hardware, he kind of starts to glance around and look at like what techs are in the room and drops his voice. You're asking about a war. Do you think that's possible? He seems legitimately like shocked at this concept.
All that we can say for certain is that someone is here and they are equipping themselves for a fight. We don't know if that's a global problem as of yet, but we are trying to ascertain that.
Well, they have another shipment going out in a couple of days. I'll keep an eye out and let you know, but if I see anything else, but certainly going through the last, I don't see anything that's suspicious other than the gaps that are suspicious.
Are there any other gaps that have been happening recently?
Anything of that sort, actually.
Anything anything that might be construed as a weapon, or
yes,
protective material for municipal police or whatever.
Yes, they still have uniforms, but none of the things that would normally go along with that.
And what does a typical order for them look like on a monthly basis?
It lists off stuff. It's run the city sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Just something to keep stock of. Okay. But they haven't ordered anything in the last little while.
They come probably like bi-weekly. There's large cargo convoys. Weekly, probably a little bit smaller.
Mm-hmm.
And occasional extra stuff as needed.
What sort of extra stuff?
Or just any
incidentals, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Anything that somebody forgot about, or suddenly something breaks and they need a new one.
When was the last time they made a large order of anything?
It's about every 2 weeks. They do like the huge, like, send a convoy sort of orders.
Mm.
And those have kept up as standard.
Anything else that's been more or less than usual?
If you want to make I'll say, if you want to roll to investigate this.
I do want to roll to investigate this. It's one of my things I can do.
Yes, indeed. This will be this will definitely include your investigate triggers. You kind of you like get down at the keyboard with Shamango and you'll start like looking through it.
Let's do.
This will just be a standard roll.
That's a 16.
16. Okay. Yep. Just needed a 10 to pass, so you definitely. Going through the past few months, you start, which you do know, you notice there's nothing super suspicious. There's no huge other things. There's no things you wouldn't super expect. What you see is a slow upward trend on certain sort of required materials.
Not a spike, but just a slowly ramping up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it, Shwango can definitely, like, with you put together, that looks like stockpiling.
Mm-hmm.
That's someone who expects to be cut off from the printer facility for some amount of time and wants to be prepared for it. We never would have noticed this if you hadn't asked. It's small, it's imperceptible, except to somebody who's really looking for it.
And how long has the trend been going upward from the usual plateau?
Just a couple of months.
Just a couple of months? Okay.
Yeah.
Which is within our time frame.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty closely matches the time frame. Oh, they're like the earliest part of the upward tail is actually before that.
Mm-hmm.
But it
is before the things land. Is before the meteors landed. Okay.
Yeah. But it then accelerates afterwards.
And what sort of materials? Is it just a general stockpiling of all goods, essentially, or
the sort of things you would need to keep a city running?
Mm-hmm.
You know, spare parts, things that can keep things running. There's a lot of times, because of the natures of printers and recycling, you can get away with just making new things and recycle the old. But there's a lot of like parts in this, parts to keep trucks running if something breaks instead of, printing a new one. Parts to keep computers running. Parts to make sure that your municipal services can be kept up.
Is this going to anywhere in particular that's unusual, given the trend? Are any of these resources being allocated to different places than what we're seeing?
Nothing that you can see. The printer facility basically just gets these large orders, and they come directly from.
Okay, so they're not actually being they're not actually being individually placed.
No,
they're just bulk ordered, and then when they get to the second city, they're distributed as needed.
Yeah, the second cities governmental center collects everything, sends it as a large order, everything comes back, and then they're in charge of distributing it.
Okay. Well, I think that's pretty convincing evidence. What do you guys think?
Sounds like a place to start.
Should look into those other leads. She says, remembering that there's people in the room that may not need to know what's going on exactly just yet. Well, thank you for your time, Shmongo. This has been very helpful.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out and let you know if anything else pops up.
Thank you. Okay. Now, who do we check on for those emails? Was it our boss man, our head officer?
Well, the emails are something y'all were hoping to get.
Right.
Individually.
Yes. Yeah, y'all have also now been essentially deputized as intelligence officers. Given that
That was a mistake.
y'all are. Don't worry though. Y'all will get all the information the kids have. Of that, we can have no doubt.
We're going to interrogate all of the children.
Door to door at the elementary school.
It's like reverse Girl Guides.
Given that y'all are the only people that are there to be on the ground, y'all are the ground team, so.
So, as much as I hate to say it, but it does sound like we do have permission here to do so. I think we have to hack the city.
Well, if only we knew somebody who could do that.
As y'all all know, y'all are all kind of hackers, but I believe Will is the best at it because you have you took the double trigger.
Yes.
You would know that with modern security protocols, if you want to get emails, the best way to do it is actually to get into the central database building.
Excellent.
Remote access is going to be difficult, but if you get inside the building, cuts back a lot of the safety protocols, a lot easier for you to get out what you need.
Mm-hmm. So, central database, how are we getting in? I think we have jurisdiction, just being union people, but they're gonna be suspicious pretty much right away.
I mean, I'm sure we could talk our way through it.
Can we? I don't think some of us should be talking at all.
Will.
No.
Look, wherever Union doesn't have jurisdiction, I'm sure Walter Concrete does.
I was just gonna say, it sounds like this might be a situation that, need a little bit of talking with a dash of ass kicking. In which case, we got it.
I don't think let's not do the ass kicking part. We don't want to get accidentally arrested.
Thank you all for tuning in to the funeral episode of Heavy Mecha. See you all next season.
Hey, we gotta fly this thing straight and narrow.
Oh,
I mean, realistically, the best chance we got is this guy trying to sneak in, unless they happen to have a back door.
You said that without the wink.
No, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna
Maybe
do
we don't
this
even
the right way.
necessarily have to sneak in. Maybe we just walk in, ask some questions, and while that happens, someone else is able to get things done. All right. I'm pretty
What?
good at getting places unseen. I'm pretty good at getting into and out of places without getting noticed. That might be helpful here. I prefer not to start a huge panic with these folks, but if that's what we need to do, I'm just putting it out there as an option.
I'm certain no one would refine those skills by getting in trouble. So let's just talk.
Let's try talking first, and then if that doesn't work,
Let's try talking.
That's the kick and tag.
you two distract him, and I'll just, and we'll be good. That's the whole plan.
That's the whole plan.
You're being attacked.
Step one is talk. The plan is talk. If talk doesn't work, step one is distract. Step two is, and then we have the stuff.
Yeah, I mean that is as much of a plan as
It's
you
simple.
can get.
Who could want anything more?
We
It's worth a try.
and
It's
technically speaking, we could cause a distraction.
We could.
I mean, but
Because
according to
hypothetically, if there was someone who, say, had the ability to remotely access his machine and have it just randomly firing large lasers off in the distance in another location, whilst again, it's an option.
It's an option.
But let's not forget. Step one of plan is talk. If
Right.
talk
Step one
doesn't
is
work,
talk. Step one is talk. But if
Step two is not lasers.
if the specter
If
of
lasers is
of
against
step two should arise, all I'm
Lasers.
saying is we have options.
remote lasers, which are the best lasers.
That's all I'm saying. Is there are options.
Step one.
But
No.
let's
Step
trust
two,
Big Waltz
remote
over
lasers.
here.
No
Sure.
plausible deniability lasers.
Sure.
Step
sure.
three.
I'm crazy. I'm crazy. I'm wild and out there for thinking that completely benign lasers in the sky.
That's
Benign.
random.
They would be benign. They would be benign lasers.
Harmless lasers that aren't hurt nobody.
To the sky!
Just random.
Harvey knows
Someone might-
entirely what to do. If I tell Harvey light it up, but like not in people land, he knows what I'm saying.
And people. No. Just shoot wildly into the air and hope that eventually the curvature of the Earth sends the laser crashing back down into it harmlessly. This is not a good idea.
You know what? I am fully behind. my brother.
Newsflash, princess! This whole thing is a bad idea. But we're here now. We're relying on Walter J. Who gives a crap to sneak us into the building. So you know what? If we're at Plan C, things have gone awry.
This is at this point, that is Plan Z, as far down as it can go.
Sure, we'll agree there. Sure,
Okay.
we'll
Well, it's on the. You know what? We'll leave it on the list, but it's like down there. We don't go from B to C to Z. You got like 23 other letters to do first. Okay. That's all I'm asking, is we don't accidentally start an incident here by test firing a weapon that no one can explain. That's all.
You understand?
Test fire. He's just shooting.
But I would
Can't
shoot
control if my
explode
machine
to
walks
someone.
off on its own and just happens to be field testing on its own.
Have you never popped
It's
a
a
hot shot
phenomena.
just shooting to the sky?
It's a phenomena. Fish gotta swim, birds gotta fly, machines gotta field test. The circle of life.
What a time for some Raiders. Hello, everyone, and welcome Party RPG. We're just
Hey, listen.
discussing perfectly benign
valid
lasers.
strategies.
This is not valid.
Step one.
Valid strategies
Step
based
one,
on
talk.
benign, completely unable to hurt anyone, giant lasers
Step
to
two.
not people.
Lasers. It works.
It's an option, is all I am saying. I didn't say we have to go straight there. I said, theoretically, one of us may have, within his possession, ability to clickety click click click, and then lasers, and then people go, but why lasers? And then I sneak, and we have answers. Find the fault. You cannot find
if
fault
this is a
because I've allowed
democracy, I'm
no
voting
area
for that
for fault.
plan.
We could just set off the fire alarm.
With a laser!
No! God!
A completely,
God, don't encourage them.
a completely benign laser.
Completely.
It's just a remote
All right, I'm
laser
gonna be
that hurt
100.
nobody.
I'm gonna keep it a full 100 right now. I didn't even. The idea of fire alarm literally didn't even come in here until you just said it, and I was like,
It's almost like we went straight to completely benign lasers.
right. I was like, we may have jumped several sharks.
You did.
Not even just one, not even a large one. There was a gaggle of sharks that was jumped.
Rocket shark jumping.
Okay.
There's a few other things we could try before lasers. That's all I'm saying. Before your benign lasers.
I am still in favor of
No!
the lasers. Okay.
You're already Walter Cronkite. No lasers for you.
That's not very awesome of you. That was not very cash money of you.
We're one step away from that's not very punk rock of you.
It's not very punk rock. I'm so offended.
You
Okay.
laugh now, but this Walter Concrete thing I got going on is gonna save my life later. Just you watch.
Walter Concrete to save the day. Yes.
I
What
won't.
could go wrong? Let us make our egress to the building.
Let's go to the dang.
Because I feel like at this point we're gonna have to play this one out, and it's gonna happen how it happens. Let's just be real. I feel like we're gonna play this one out.
We're doing this live.
This is 100% going live.
Alright. Alright, so, how are y'all getting to the city? Are y'all,
Word.
I'll drive.
No.
are y'all just taking your buggy
Yeah,
Yes.
I'll drive it.
as is?
Yep.
Yeah.
I will remind, gonna look at that roll in a second here. I will remind Mr. Concrete that,
Oh, for fuck's sake.
it is,
Why do we keep letting him drive?
He kicks
Why
the
do we
keys first.
keep letting him drive?
this particular buggy is union labeled for the
Every-
purposes of your
Are we gonna have to get
disguise.
an Uber?
Oh, shoot.
Everyone thinks I'm off the rails for benign lasers, and yet we keep letting him drive.
Actually, I shouldn't drive because I can't be seen driving this whip.
Are you
He
gonna,
said after he got in and collided on 3 walls.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
that's-
like now that I've
Now let's-
read
let's-
this
Halfway through the
let's
trip, doing
investigate
doubly, I'm
that
not
roll.
feeling it today, guys.
let's investigate that roll. Get somewhere quickly. 3.
We got somewhere
Natural
quickly.
one.
It was a wall.
Natural 1.
Got somewhere
Yeah,
quick.
yeah. If they're after a couple of curbs and an unfortunate light pole, it really should have been better secured if they wanted it to stay up. Frankly,
I mean, really.
James will give up the controls to hide in back as he
Yeah.
doesn't want to
Ruined this whole Walter Concrete.
sully the fantastic reputation of Walter Concrete.
We wouldn't want that.
Yeah, so
Um,
yeah, well, you guys just pull the tram out of the ditch, and then we get right back to it. Whew.
Dell gets out and starts pushing the car back onto the road.
Benefits of printing everything. Everything's really lightweight, so the three of y'all could probably move this thing fairly easily. Alright, so y'all take a drive. I presume no rolls are gonna be necessary. I presume you're,
Well, that depends. If Dell's driving, she'll probably try to roll 2 for go quietly, act unseen or unheard, which
Okay,
would probably
that's
not be
fair.
a terrible idea.
That's
right
fair,
now.
Yeah, go
And
for
just
it.
watch out for digits. They just kind of pop up out of nowhere.
Do they? Ugh, that's not very good.
I told you to watch out.
It's a car. You know,
It's a car.
it's hard to find. It's hard to
Speeding.
describe. You know, you don't do anything crazy, but you know, people see you. It's not like you're managing to.
I'm not avoiding the traffic cams
Yeah,
as they were. Yeah.
It's
Whatever.
hard to do anyway.
I don't know
so,
this city very well, okay?
Yeah, especially a city you don't know. So yeah, y'all make your way to the central database center of the city.
Right.
Who's taking point here? As Mr. Concrete will slink out of, will kind of pop up out of the back, do a roll out of it.
Doing a military crawl
Yeah.
across the street.
Yeah, I had to get my
What are our other?
We're having technical difficulties over here.
Oh, you're good. What are our other members wearing? How are y'all kind of? I presume, given the goal here is for Walter to find a dive bar, I presume he is dressed, prepared
Oh yeah, he looks
for a dive
like,
bar.
He looks like an extra straight off the set of Sons of Anarchy. He just looks rough and tumble.
Yeah.
But his
Walter
name is-
Cronkite.
Walter Cronkite, yes.
Sounds like Walter Concrete. How about you, William? How are you sort of dressed for your day of investigations?
Not like an extra from Sons of Anarchy. Basically, he's gonna go kind of low-key, not wanting to be noticed. So probably some sort of plain shirt, plain pants. He will be wearing some type of jacket or otherwise or hooded item to where he can like cover his head if he needs to, and something with sleeves to where he can cover his access tools that he's keeping on here. I don't want to call it a pit boy, but basically a pit boy.
A power glove.
Right. Now you're playing with power.
Because it's the future.
Of course. What else would we use?
How about you, Del?
Dell's got a cowl neck scarf and just a standard tank top, probably orange, and some black close-fitting slacks.
Okay, so kind of just trying to
Just blend, looking normal,
Blend.
you know.
Yeah.
Super
Casual.
normal.
casual, but
Super tough
try not
cash.
to look like you're trying to look casual.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. So
Right.
y'all head into the data bank.
Yeah, probably not at the same time though.
All right. How are we staggering?
Dell will go last.
Okay. Who's leading the way?
Walt.
Walter, you're up.
Yeah, Walt's gonna go in first.
Yeah,
All
let
right.
Walt take point, and so at that point, Will's going to kind of come in the middle and just try to assess the situation and get an eye on things without drawing attention to himself.
Okay. Decide if the robot's necessary.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. What'd you do with the robot?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
So now that it's real. So remember I have the extended range because everything
Yeah.
I got going on for the personalizations. So he's basically going to be not at the very tip of range, comfortably enough in that the robot's basically parked on the outskirts of the city. Just kind of sitting there, like it looks like it's in a position like it's clearly been dismounted and just waiting there, maybe like someone was going to do a dry run or what have you. Untouched, but I have Harvey on and ready and have him specifically sitting to look like it's just there waiting, inactive. And
Okay.
he knows to power on if I send out a signal, and then to
Laser light show.
do things.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Laser light show.
Maybe could.
Okay, cool. All right. Yep, you head into the central data bank. There's a guy sitting at the front desk, kind of glances up as y'all come in. Or as Walter comes in, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm just going to kind of scan the place to see if I find anyone that looks particularly shady.
Shady?
Yeah.
Well, for starters.
No, it's pretty much just the guy. Like, you see a couple of techs come in and out as you watch for a moment. But it's pretty dead in here. There's not a whole lot of movement or activity.
Right.
You're getting a lot of looks though, certainly.
Right. Awesome. Just gonna head forward to see if I can do some talking.
Okay. Yep. He kind of giving you a bit of a look. How can I help you, sir?
He's just gonna take a look back to see how far his compatriots are.
Dell's probably just walking in now.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just gonna just keep up the distraction. So he's just what's going on here?
I'm sorry, sir.
On?
he's
This is the central.
freaking out. He's like, why am I doing the talking shit?
This is the central data bank. Are you lost, sir?
Yes, I am. Could you take me to somewhere to make a call?
He'll offer you the desk phone.
Okay. So yeah, he's gonna head over there, see if that's enough of a distraction to get his people through.
So y'all watch as Walter will go up, kind of starts talking to the desks. There seems to be a moment of hesitation. He gets handed the phone, and sort of behind his back, you start seeing his hand going.
So I'm assuming walking in here, there's just like a main desk area, and then there's nothing else in the lobby.
Yeah, it's pretty standard. You know, there's some potted plants. There's a couple of like benches here and there. There's the big central desk, and then to either side of it, there's doors. That
Okay.
lead back.
Okay, well, gotta know where we're going. Dell is seeing the distraction has kind of started. She's going to try to slip into one of these rooms, or into one of the offset. Is there anything that's labeled that's like things are back here, things are back here, or is it just kind of plain?
Not
With
these
the
doors.
files.
Yeah, not these doors.
No.
Yeah, okay. So this would be a your I will say, let's see. Let me rank this roll here. As this is definitely a risky roll. There is the consequences of this one are pretty obvious. This guy's going to immediately know that something is up.
Okay.
And you'll have an accuracy from James's. I'm sorry, Walter's help.
Okay, so 20 plus 2 plus 1d6. 15.
That is exactly what you needed.
Oh! Oh! Woosa!
All right,
She just
so
kind of walks in like she belongs. Just goes.
yeah, you just as he's kind of Walter being held the phone starts to like just carry it off,
Do I have to dial 9?
still attached to the actual like unit as like it starts to go over the guy like sir, and that's the moment when you book it past as the gentleman up front very kindly tries to explain to you how a phone works. Will, what are you doing in this?
Well, once he sees Dell sliding through and he sees there's an optimal path, he's going to try and see if he can just kind of silently follow along.
Okay, yeah, I'll say the two of y'all can get in
Okay,
with her,
cool.
under her role.
All right, perfect.
Slide. We sneaky.
So yeah, you, Walter, as the two of them disappear inside, you watch as they go back and like, oh yeah, right, that's a phone, of course.
You silly me, how often you forget these kind of things.
What are you doing after you see them get in?
I will. I'm probably just gonna keep an eye on everything here from the front, and see
Okay.
if I can give them a heads up if I see anything going left.
Okay, you kind of make your excuses and go
Yeah.
and sit on a bench to just keep a view of the room.
I am a sky type thing, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
You just like on Twitter now.
Oh shit, you
Yeah.
guys missed this crazy prank I was wanting.
You get on your Walter Concrete social media pages and start retweeting
shit.
anti-union propaganda.
You can get arrested. Oh no. Okay.
Okay, so Walter, you're propped up, keeping an eye for the two of them. The two of y'all have gotten in back. Back here, stuff is labeled back here. I mean, there's the different rooms. The two of y'all are tech savvy enough to be able to track what kind of the meetings. You all know what you're looking for.
Right.
It's really a question of if y'all are able to get there without incident. So for that, I will have one of y'all give me one more roll of trying to kind of navigate the room or the complex to get to the server, the database room y'all are looking for.
Right.
And if either of y'all have any relevant triggers y'all would like to use for that, depending on how y'all are trying to do it.
Trying to get to where we need to go. Sorry.
Yeah, without being seen, caught, accosted, somebody going, "Hey,
Yeah.
who are you?"
I have act unseen and unheard, and then there's also stay cool, which I think is one of these things. Sometimes looking like you belong
Okay.
is, an important part of stealth, hiding in
I
plain
was
sight.
gonna make the exact same comment though, because I've
There you
got
go.
stay cool at +4, and I was like, we're staying calm, staying collect, just blending in, keeping it real, not getting excitable.
Yeah. I feel you. So Do we both roll, or do you want one of us to roll?
Just one for this. Let's see if there's anything
I think that
else.
yours is
I will say
higher than mine. So stay cool.
there's going to be one difficulty on it because this is a fairly difficult
A
task.
+4.
But I'm gonna because you're getting help. The accuracy will cancel out the difficulty. So
Okay, so
All
in
right,
that
so
case, 7
7
plus
plus
4 is
4.
11.
11. Okay. Yep. Just get you just get over the
Oh man.
the number. Y'all are keeping it close today. But that is enough.
Way closer than I'd like.
It's way closer than I'd like, yeah.
Because that was definitely another risky roll. I feel like most of this, it's pretty obvious. Most of the stuff y'all are doing in here is
We would be
automatically
so shit.
risky.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
if y'all get asked, y'all have very few reasons to be where you are.
Unless we want to straight up lie, but that's not one of my skills.
Okay, so yeah, y'all managed to navigate it fine. You know, a couple of times y'all pass techs, and you find different hallways, find different paths. One path kind of goes to say something, and it's kind of like, oh, hey, how are you? Oh, yeah, fine, great. Yeah. See you later.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to respond, and y'all
Get to the server room.
going there. Yeah, y'all get to the server room. The where y'all know that the information you're looking for is going to be. The door is locked.
What kind of lock is it?
It's like a key card.
Oh, good.
You or me?
Wouldn't want it to be something we could pick. I mean, we both have an Omni hook, right?
I have one, yeah.
I mean, would it be possible for us to try and hack our way in?
We
Yeah,
probably
it's an electronic device. Pros and cons of electronic locks. You can't physically pick them, but you can definitely electronically pick them.
Right.
You use the Omni hook. Beep boop, beep boop, beep boop.
Yep. So either of y'all can roll for.
Um,
I think Will has the
I think we-
higher.
Yeah.
Do
I
you
can
have
do
a
another-
4?
Yes.
Then you do it for sure. I only have the 2.
Um,
1d20 plus 4.
I'm spreading out among my skills.
And some says...
Ooh,
16.
That's
16. Yep. No problem. You as Dell sort of keeps lookout down the hall for you, you plug up one of the probes of the Omni hook into the lock and fairly quickly manage to spoof a ID card code. There's a beep, a green light, and the door clicks open.
You're Pizak. I just made that Star Wars nice little public reference.
Dell gives you a blank look. Right, did we go? Just go
I had to come
go
back
for
here.
it.
Mom.
Go into the dang room. Okay,
so we get
server room.
inside and...
Two of y'all get in. There's a couple more techs in here. There's like a control room, but we'll roll under y'all's previous stealth rolls. They don't seem to
Right.
notice you come in. We'll say at one point one of y'all probably like passed a coat rack and just kind of grabbed off one of the lab coats and tossed it over.
Sing this right now.
Oh, I'm not. That's not in... No.
That's you.
Okay.
That's not your character.
It's not me. It's not me.
You're allowed. You're allowed to sing. Will is not allowed to sing.
Will is not singing.
Um,
Will is foolish and thinks that robot could work as a distraction, but not like that.
benign lasers, yes.
See, I knew
They
this
are
was-
benign.
I knew this was gonna be a mission that needed like careful consideration and no recklessness. That's why I stayed out here.
He said, "I know my calling card. It ain't bad."
It's not this. This ain't it.
I would have
Alright.
drop kicked the alarm sensor by now.
So impatient. Okay, is there an available terminal or port or somewhere where we can jack in?
Oh, there's plenty. Like once you're in here, y'all know what you're looking for.
Then let's get started. Make sure that no one's really watching. Which one of us? I think we both probably have lab coats at this point. If whatever they're wearing is their uniform here is a lab coat, in which case whatever
Right.
their uniform is.
Yeah. Okay.
I think some of the IT people I know would probably like to wear lab coats in the server room.
Or a hazmat suit.
That's either way.
Okay, so, yeah, you, it's going to be, once again, okay, I'll say this. So, Dell, you can either continue to use your ability to sort of hold up the disguise, keep yourself unnoticed, or you can help him hack in.
I think I'm gonna maintain the disguise. She's gonna be like,
Okay.
She'll be training him. Yeah, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
If anyone walks by, the quiet murmuring that she'll just suddenly pick up is like, all right, so when you're going back into the server, you have to make sure that you clear out the cache files and just all this bullshit until they walk away, and then she's done.
Okay, so in that case, Will. Okay, it is going to be another roll. It is going to have this is still a fairly this is a central database. Its protections are much better than usual, so the roll is going to have one difficulty on it.
But okay. D20 plus 4. $20.
20.
And then
Okay, awesome.
I'll hit him a D6. So -1, 19.
19.
Bam!
Okay.
Bam!
Yeah.
That's how we do it.
Hell yes.
Yep. You. I presume you're not trying to actively like look for stuff. Y'all are kind of trying to like do a data dump of some certain like time period of files.
Yeah, we're
Right,
smashing
yeah,
grabbing,
let's
I think.
just mass grab.
Yeah.
Yep.
Smash and grab is way easier than just carefully searching.
So a long, awkward moment passes for you guys as you have to watch the movie.
The little bar,
Comically oversized progress bar.
It counts every individual point.
Yeah.
Right.
97.6.
But you get it. No alarms go off. There's no screaming of panicking texts or calling for security. It seems to work. You pull out your, your OmniHook. You now have, a month or so, we'll say, of files to dig through.
Fair.
It's probably like a few terabytes.
And now y'all just need to get out.
Yep. All right, and great job. Now I'll show you where the break room is. Let's go. Maintaining the stealth. I'll
I'll say, give me just one more check for stealth, again within accuracy because you have Will's help.
Yeah. Nope, I'll do a stealth. I'll do a stealth with an accuracy. Plus 1d6. 13.
Yep.
Man, my rolls have been shit. Thank God for these accuracies.
Yep, y'all managed to, just as y'all are, like, getting to that final door to get out, like, one of the, like, a tactic kind of down the hall is like, excuse me, who are you? And then y'all are out the door.
Right.
Yep, they're just, don't
course.
even address it, just still
Sometimes we're
keep
doing
walking.
the movie thing.
Yep, don't even address it, just keep talking.
Yep,
Don't run.
the guy
Don't
up
leave.
front. The guy up front who's like keeping a very close watch on James/Walter, kind of like glances up as y'all come out and kind of go, does want to. And then decides that he probably doesn't get paid enough to think overly large about how y'all got back there. You were back there. That must mean you were meant to be back there, right?
Obviously.
Right.
That's how
I
it
have
works.
a lab coat.
Yeah, the lab coats go a long way. Anyone looks official in a lab coat.
Exactly. Need put a pair of glasses on, have one of those lanyards going.
Oh, yeah.
Undetectable.
Yep. All right, so y'all are out with your intel.
Okay, that was terrific. Yeah, as soon as we're outside the building, just take off the lab coat.
Oh, no alarms or anything.
Toss
Whoa.
that.
Dell's keeping hers. You never know when you need another disguise, but definitely taking it off, folding it up, and carrying it kind of under her arm. All right, so just waiting on James to come out. How quick does James follow us out?
Not too terribly long. As soon as he sees you, he give you like a 5 count and then follow off behind.
That works. All right. Head to the car, parked somewhere over there. Will, do you want to drive or should I drive? Because we're not
Anyone
letting
but
drive.
him.
Yeah, no, you're not driving right now.
I'll drive calm.
Will you?
No, you
promise.
won't.
I
So I'll
promise.
go ahead and drive.
Okay.
And we'll go ahead. You know what? I'll even just to. I may be tempting fate here, but just to prove a point, we'll do get somewhere quickly, and I got a +2 there.
Okay. Somebody was talking a whole gang of shit just now.
Oh man!
Neither of you are allowed to drive.
Amazing.
He was talking cash, money, shit.
I really need to find that. I should have put the Roll20 overlay onto the rolls so that we could see the players
In
roll
real time.
yet another natural one on driving. None of y'all can drive.
And fine.
This is awful.
Can
Hey,
I
this is
roll?
the same
Josh?
dick that I rolled us into. Look at that.
Can I roll to distract these two with benign lasers?
You know what you can do?
Don't
You know what you can do? Actually, you can push it. That is a rule. However, the roll will become risky.
You can push it out, and by push it, you mean seeing that you're going into the ditch and then gun it anyway to vault yourself
Right.
out with a bounce
Basically, you
or
can.
something?
So basically, you can re-roll that. But what was previously just a roll to see how you were driving will now become risky. There will be consequences to it now.
If you think
I call bullshit. I didn't get this opportunity.
if you think I am crazy enough to make that choice,
Do it. Don't be a coward. I do it.
Are we getting out?
I know that's
pushing it out of the
precisely
ditch?
why I'm not doing it. You know what would Jesus do? It's kind of the same thing. What would James do? Then do not that.
All right, so
I guess we're getting out of the car and pushing it out of the ditch again then.
Okay, so
driving.
the consequences are basically then you just drive badly. It is not a fun trip. It is, like Fluffy said, it's like you hit the gas and then you hit the brake. You hit the gas, you hit the brake. You're not quite used to the car
stick
yet.
before?
Yes.
Well, you're right.
But I've been
It's a
in
much
cryo
more
sleep
enjoyable
for like
trip.
1,000 years or whatever. I'm rusty.
Oh, so I use
Good, like,
that
3
as an
months.
excuse.
Don't forget the clutch. Come on.
You don't have to. Oh, we stalled again. God damn it.
Oh, man. I just love that nobody in this entire crew
I can drive. I just
can drive.
No, just fine.
All of the failures today. We just broke into a lockdown secured
We
facility
did that fine.
and stole the data for the entire populace's emails for the last month. But driving a buggy, that's a bridge too far.
give me the keys. I got it.
Every roll of
Everybody has bad
failure.
ones.
I'm frankly offended that y'all forced me to do this.
I offered to drive.
Force you to do
Forced me.
anything.
Forced me.
I didn't do
But
anything.
knowing how this would end, you forced me.
You know what? I'll be wheelman from here on out. Okay,
No,
we
you
got
will
it.
not. You
Yes.
will.
Yes, I
You
will.
are not. I am driving. You both put us in the ditch today. I am the only one who did not put us in the ditch, so I will drive.
I feel like it's important to point out right now, because I think I forgot to mention earlier. Ranger will be back next week. Now that his schedule is fixed, he has survived everything. It's been
Heck
but
of
he
an
will be,
adventure.
so he will officially be rejoining us next week, and we'll see if he can pass a roll to drive.
What happened? I hacked a city. He
You did hack a city.
We crashed several cars.
Yeah,
She
this-
blew up a robot.
Like it was
Really
my
just-
fault.
And then he's biker Walter Cronkite now.
Don't ask questions.
And we Mission Impossibled our way into the building before, yes, destroying several more cars.
Yes. I mean,
That's as tight a wrap up as I can give.
Yep, that's about right.
that's an action.
So-
movie right
It is an action movie.
All right, so now I believe it is James' turn to shine.
Here we go. Yes, we have to go to the dive bar. That's
there.
right.
Yeah.
Yep. So asking around, you found a few there. You find a few bars in town on pretty much like the spectrum. You have on one end you have the Flowered Trellis, which is a high class sort of, it's the place that offers bottle service. That brings you the wine in a chilled bucket and
Yes.
and
Place
gives you a
is-
swirl to make sure it's to your satisfaction.
Place seems a little fancy.
We have the Cold Tap, which is, you go and you can get jalapeno poppers, and there is a happy hour margarita special.
Oh my God, it's TGI Friday. Next.
Oh, yeah. Then you have... actually, first, I need you... I would like you to give me a roll, and I will... whatever your... you have, like, a disguise trigger.
That's my downtime thing. For my triggers, I have hacker fix, get a hold of something, assault, show off, or get somewhere quickly.
Okay, so this will be just a flat roll, but I'll give you an accuracy then because it's the background thing you have for your disguise. This is basically going to see how you're doing on disguising yourself and what sort of.
Okay, so just a 13, a natural 13. I do have a grit though, right? So would that make that 14?
Grit's for
Oh, yeah, grit.
mech stuff.
Oh, okay, never mind.
And then okay. So the D6 won't matter because you hit the 10 to pass. Okay, so you're in the in the process of making your Walter Concrete persona. You set up some local social media, essentially, and kind of started doing the what like old people are posting on Facebook sort of stuff, like
just all sorts of propaganda.
Liking all the right. So you get a message as you're sitting there, kind of on your CompCon, kind of pretending not to be watching, as Dell and Will do their break-in. You get a message, and it says you should come by the Bear Garage sometime. Now this is the bar you were looking for.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Real pieces of dirt.
It literally is a garage. That just like in the back has a bar. It is very popular with the kind of people who like get a car printed for them and then feel the need to like just tear that thing apart.
Okay.
You've been to these kinds of bars on Cradle.
Call them dives.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you fit right in. You nailed the aesthetic. It is
as I knew it would be. So yeah, he's just going to be kind of scanning the rooms to see if he can get in on any conversations about gatherings or political satisfaction.
So you kind of get this guy's name, and you like looking at his social media stuff. His name is Shadano.
Yep. So yeah, I'm just gonna walk over to him.
And he'll be like, yeah, I'll be at the back table with a couple of friends. You should come by and say hey.
Okay. So
I think you have some good points about things. I'd like to talk about them more.
Ooh, all right. I'm gonna make my way to the back corner. Just
okay. What are Del and Will? What are you doing? Well, first off, how do you all arrive?
Del is going to see the condition of this bar and be like, I am overdressed, and take off the scarf. Go in the back, like look for like a hoodie or something, make sure that there's nothing Union on it, and just pull it on.
I presume y'all are ditching the car like a few blocks.
Oh yeah, yeah. This thing is nowhere near the bar.
Yeah, we got it hidden in a ditch real good.
Hidden. Smoking.
Feel good about that one.
Nailed that parking job.
Feel good about it. Feel nice. I'm gonna remember that next time you roll a 1. I want you to remember.
Oh, it will be remembered.
Okay, I just want you to know. And Will, on the other hand, I mean, he doesn't, since he's just kind of dressed as knowing that his role in a lot of things was either going to be posted up on the side, keeping an eye, or drawing as little attention as possible. He's doesn't really need to change much of anything. So when he makes his way, eventually in, he's just going to kind of go for whatever corner he will go for whatever corner he can, and kind of just looking around, keeping an eye on things, keeping a trace around, figuring out how many people are in the room, so on and so forth. He's used to this with James.
Del will position herself probably somewhere at like the far end, opposite side of the bar, and just like order a whiskey neat and just sit there with it, staring off into space, dead-eyed.
All right, and Will, what are you doing as James makes his approach? Are you kind of doing the same thing? Head off to like do your own thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Yep. So, James, you see a group kind of hanging out in the back, and indeed one of the guy seems to be kind of like keeping an eye on the bar as if he's waiting for someone.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna walk. I forgot his name already.
Shadano.
Sedano.
Yeah.
I'm just going to walk up to Sedano, like, beeline towards him and just go, thanks for the invite. It's nice to finally be able to speak my truth. He's gonna take a seat right next to him on the bench.
Yeah, and he'll introduce you to the. He's sitting with a woman. Who he will introduce as a Juaninge. And he'll tell you, yeah, you. I haven't seen you around. You must have come around recently, but it's good to see that more of our compatriots have been seeing the light.
And hop skipping from colony to colony, trying to find a place to settle. Union's not making that too easy these days.
Yeah, I feel that Union just can't help but put their noses where people don't want it.
I heard this really fucked up story. This guy was bullying kids the other day.
Union trash, I tell ya. I think they own the place. Come in,
Like, it's nothing
threaten
sacred.
kids. They immediately take a liking to. It's like, oh yeah, this guy knows what's up. Oh yeah, I heard about that.
So yeah, after that, he's just gonna try and get in good and go. Just once, I wish I landed on a colony that had a plan to deal with these fucks. Yeah, go from place to place, and people get bullied. Just once, I'd like to find a place to stand.
Okay. Yeah. Why don't you give me a roll?
Okay.
I'm gonna give you one accuracy because that's pretty good.
This is your wheelhouse.
You saw. I don't know if you have any triggers that might apply to trying to
Get a hold of something.
Why not? You know what? That your
Or show
performance.
off.
Yeah. I'll give you one of them.
Okay.
And an accurate. Well, okay. That's a good enough one. You don't need the accuracy.
See what I would have got. Hey.
Oh yeah, 20. You nail it. It's at this point. So as you're kind of doing this, you start to realize, like, Shadano, as y'all are going back and forth, and all this. Juaninge isn't saying anything. Really, she's just kind of watching this conversation go back and forth, and you start to, as things progress through the conversation, you start to notice that he's like glancing at her at certain points, and will occasionally just get like a subtle nod, and you start to get the feeling that she's not talking in this conversation, but she's saying a whole lot, and it's at this point that he'll kind of lean back and she'll lean in, and she'll. What if I told you that some people around here do have a plan? Are you the kind of man that'll follow through?
Yeah, Yeah, I'm that kind of man. As long as your plan is suicide, I've seen people get roused up by drink. So if you're the real deal, then I'll stand with you. Take your drink.
I'm not here to drink. I'm here to get rid of these union fucks.
Oh, okay. I'm in. He puts down his drink and gets serious.
And she'll start to kind of lay a little bit out of it, and it's we've got more than just us. I'm talking mechs. I'm talking taking that monstrosity of bullshit that they built in our home and burning it to the goddamn ground. And glancing around you, she's talking kind of loud.
Yeah, I'm kind of
And you start to realize that everyone around, a couple people glance over at this, but there's nobody that's reacting negatively. You either get people ignoring it, or you get people kind of just nodding along.
We may be the wrong bar.
Dell is just calmly ignoring this, holding her glass, staring off into space.
Hey, James just goes, fuck yeah, fuck the union.
He's ready to just go native. Let's go.
Let's fucking do this. What do you mean you have mechs? You don't have access to their printer. That's
Off-world.
what?
You know how it is. You're from off-world. You know, union
Yeah,
bullshit everywhere. This guy.
Yeah, but trying to smuggle anything is it's insane. They've got a hand in everybody's ass.
It's already done. They've already landed.
Holy shit! Okay, you've got mechs. How many people do you have that can fly them?
They came with pilots. A whole battalion or some shit. Some other war. Union put down some rebels because, God forbid, someone toes the line.
Like
They're
they
our
always
saviors.
fucking do. Oh, incredible! What are we waiting for? If you have what you say you have, you can end this tonight.
Gotta wait till the time's right. We gotta make sure that people are ready. The mechs are the heavy hitters, but still need us.
What's a revolution without people?
Exactly. As for the printer, we're gonna fix that soon enough.
I mean, you can't win the war without it.
What the fuck did they... Why are they the ones that get it anyway? Well, because they were here first? Because their ancestors sat on their asses for another 200 years while ours died in space?
Can't compete with life. You can't compete with space. That's unfair.
But it's alright. We're gonna make things right. And they're gonna pay for it. They're gonna pay for everything they've taken from this world.
Finally, I found a world that's not full of cowards. So, when are we meeting? When are we doing this?
Shadano's got your address. We'll let you know. We said to make sure you were the real deal. You know, plenty of people around here talk a big game, but it takes a certain kind of person to pull the trigger.
I can't wait to put one between the eyes of those cocky union fucks. So, I'm with you.
And I tell you, this new group they landed, they're gonna go first.
Never heard much about them. What do you know?
You've already heard about them. Jumping kids in a playground.
That was God.
But it's
Will,
alright.
at this point, literally has a hand on his sidearm right now, and he's just waiting for James to slip, and he's like, "I will shoot you in the goddamn leg." You have come this far, I will shoot you in the fucking leg right now in front of everybody.
I can't wait for you guys to give me the word when this starts.
I'll let you know.
I'm gonna head back and I'm gonna start getting my things ready.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Get your things in order. We'll be in touch.
He's just gonna like give him a shake and then get out of there.
Dell's gonna take like 5 or 10 minutes before she follows him out.
Okay.
Just, being extra cautious, especially after that. That would look too suspicious after leaving, so just...
Yeah. There's enough people who come in here for, a quick drink after work.
Yep.
So you don't stand out. Will?
No.
Right, and I'm just gonna wait a couple minutes, so I don't want it to be obvious. All of us leaving at the same
Yep.
time.
Stagger a couple
So
minutes.
wait a
under
couple
that.
minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, once we all meet up,
Back in the car or
Jesus.
whatever.
yeah, Jason's gonna be in the driver's seat of the car.
That seems to have gone well.
So as y'all are heading back, if somebody, I think Dal's going to be the best at this. We'll include your investigation in this. If you'll give me a roll.
Yes, investigation time.
Yep.
Okay. +2. I have been rolling like shit tonight. That's a 6.
Okay.
Your treat. Your treat.
So y'all meet up. Y'all start to, as y'all are getting back to the to your car, your transport to head back. Kind of exchanging like, what the fuck just happened?
That was intense.
I kind of had a feeling it'd go that way.
You had to mess with the kid.
It made it really
You
easy
had to mess with the kid.
to get them all riled up. Look at that. It's all coming together.
Yeah. Question.
Huh?
What if one, okay, let's just focus on what we've got.
Which is quite a bit, actually.
Yeah.
I think we
boy.
found the Ace's army.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Let's
did.
go.
As y'all, as you're opening the door to get in, that is when Shadano, with 2 other individuals, kind of steps out of the shadows and will glance at you, James, and nod at the Union logo that is clearly visible on the back quarter panel. And we'll just
Yeah. So
yeah,
about
real anti-union.
I mean,
You're full of
what's more
shit.
anti-union than stealing their car?
I bet you're from Cradle or some shit.
No.
And they start.
Okay, so he's actually just gonna look at them and he's gonna go, okay, so the jig is all the way up then, right?
The jig is up.
Okay, well, cool. He's gonna just take off the makeup. Oh, God, that fake mustache was killing me.
Yeah, and they start to kind of surround you guys up against the car.
I'm gonna pull her sidearm.
And seeing this, they start to go for weapons as well.
Yep.
Laser distraction?
I was just gonna say, how far are we from my mech?
I mean, this is probably
Oh, here
more.
we go.
This is probably more on the outskirts of the city. Let's see. Let's just...
So far, following the plan precisely. Talk. Then laser distractions.
Yeah, you are not.
Taking more precautions
It is
to get
not
out of there unfollowed.
hugely far away.
I'm just gonna start. I'm gonna put my arms like I mean, I'm not good at showing camera, but like crossed in front of me like this. But I've used this data pad enough that I know the buttons. I'm just gonna start punching around to be punching and go, basically saying, Harvey, if you could start coming in this direction, that'd be super duper.
Okay.
Do we have... how many of them are there?
3.
There's 3?
There's Shadano, and then one other big, burly guy, and a woman who is holding a knife that she looks very comfortable with.
Oh, good.
Well, first off, I'm in love. Second off, I would like to grab my sidearm as well.
Okay. All right.
Pilot weapon. Yeah.
So, now we get to do combat in
Pilot
narrative
combat.
play.
Oh,
Yep.
boy!
We
Yay!
get to try new things today.
What could go wrong?
I did forget my dice. So let me just get up a dice roller here. There we go. All right, so all right, so essentially, there's no like super firm initiative. Y'all are just going to say what y'all are doing. You will roll. The enemy doesn't really roll much. Y'all will roll what y'all are trying to do, and if you succeed, you get to do damage basically. If you don't succeed, they are going to get to do bad things to you.
Okay. So we're rolling initiative this time?
Well, there's no initiative or anything. Y'all will each have a turn basically as y'all go through this. So y'all can more or less just say what y'all are doing.
I'll go.
Okay.
So he pulled out his sidearm, which is this terribly gaudy, like desert eagle that has a red dragon painted on it.
Yeah, that tracks.
Obnoxiously big gun.
That
Yeah.
tracks.
It looks straight out of like Romeo Must Die. Like, yeah, he's got a fucking buckshots at the person, the S person, the leader person.
Okay, so at Shadano.
Yep.
Cool.
So, whack up. I don't know what that means. I pressed the weapon and it did that. So. Oh, so my attack is +4. So I'm gonna shoot. What?
All right, so you go for your gun at the same time that he goes for his.
Ooh.
Just throw your gun into the air.
I rolled a 2, not a 1.
You but he's quicker on the draw.
Okay.
Let's see here. None of y'all are wearing any armor or anything.
I have my heart suit. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
No,
not
but
quite
the
armor,
point-
though. That's different.
Oh,
Well, that's A, but also B, we're not exactly wearing our
True.
Yeah,
our
this isn't-
uniforms right now.
This isn't pilot.
Especially
gear.
Walter over there.
true.
So yeah, he gets the drop on you. You'll take 2 damage.
Unless you got a
as the
Kevlar mustache.
And as the bullet takes you in the arm, your shot goes wide.
Okay.
Dick.
Can Dell go next, or is there someone else? That's
You know, it
going?
doesn't. You can. Yep.
An enemy.
It's
Okay.
only the 3 of y'all are going. It is. The
the one
enemy
that-
doesn't necessarily get its own initiative. It just reacts to you.
Just reacts. Okay, so Dell's going to take her knife and throw it as her free action at Buddy that just shot James.
Okay. Take
So
your knife
that's
and-
going to be take someone out, because I'm just trying to disarm them. I'm just trying to throw it at like the gun in their hand and either.
Okay.
Well, let's see how it rolls.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm trying to get rid of the gun,
Um,
and then she's going to
okay,
use her
so that-
action to shoot someone else. But we'll just start like this. That's a 20. That's a 16 plus 4 for those not looking at the rolls here.
Okay, so that was for
That was for throwing a knife at the Shimano,
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Not Shimano. Their gun.
Let me figure out what that roll would. That's definitely going to be.
Yeah, she's
I'll
trying
say-
to disarm them, but I guess the severity of the disarm is up to you at this point.
Well, okay. So I'm gonna say if you're really if you're trying to do like a super badass hit the gun with your knife and
then turn and shoot. But
that is a super difficult.
that's pretty difficult. Do you want me to roll
That's
a difficulty?
that's gonna be a difficult. But I would almost say actually that
It should fall under take someone out, but
I would call that heroic
what's
to
that?
do that. It would need a 20 instead of a 10.
Oh, okay. Well, I did roll a 20,
Yeah, but without the difficulty.
but without the difficulty. Okay.
Yeah, everything kind of has its, because you're not aiming for AC or something. It's
Yeah.
purely just about how difficult what you're trying to do is.
Okay.
So yeah, without knowing your role, would you want to risk that to go for it?
I would risk it.
Okay. We'll still take the 20 as we're all still getting used to what this is. So yeah, you because heroic I think is pushed enough. We won't do any difficulty to it. Yeah, but you manage it. You take the knife, you throw it knife style, and it knocks away Shadano's gun.
She's for her action she's going to draw to fire to the person nearest her is like inside the knee.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
So is that
that's
one?
Gonna be,
do you want me to add the negative?
we'll
pieces
just
to
call that a difficulty.
That's
As you're kind of trying to go for a very specific
one
shot.
way and then the other way. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's still a 19. That's pretty
Okay.
good.
Yeah, you knock away his gun, and then taking your pistol in the other hand, you catch the other guy right in the knee.
Like right in the knee. Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
That's her turn.
Will.
All right, well, in Will's case, he's going to pull out. Now, I'm assuming Harvey's coming on his own, having sent the signal. I've got to sit here and just
It's gonna be a
my
minute.
turn be some, right.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, I'm assuming I don't have to just sit here and do
Oh, no.
this the
No.
whole time.
No,
Actually, right. So,
I would assume also
For,
that you had set up pretty much the button, the big red button, and all you have
Right,
to do for
bing.
come into the city, get to me, would be slapping that button. So that's
Right.
easy enough.
So at this point, Will's gonna reach out and do one of these, and he's gonna have basically pretty much like a Kevlar, but like a handheld baton kind of thing.
Okay.
And he's gonna see the lady who seems very comfortable knife brandishing and be like, I apologize. I don't normally do this. However, you're kind of pushing things, and go and try and smack even the basically her hand/wrist area to get her to actually drop the knife.
Yeah. Go for it. Yeah.
So that's going to be D20. Go. 12.
12. Okay. Yep. There's a firm whack, and the knife drops.
And then from there, should we get 2 thingies we can do, or? Just trying to make sure I understand the mechanics at play.
It's a good question. I'm not sure.
Because the reason I was asking is basically my idea was I was going to go. I'm essentially trying to disable rather than attack. So my idea was I was going to go for the hand and then go for like a tripping swing and kind of get her upended rather than actually attacking her.
I think that's perfectly reasonable within that one roll to say
Okay,
that you
cool.
kind of.
Yeah, I'm not attacking. I'm trying to disable.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, cool. So yeah, I'll go with that then. So they swing, hit the hand, so that knife falls out, and then trip her, get her up on her butt.
Pilot combat is way more narrative. It's literally just you just tell me what you want to do,
Okay, good.
and I just give you the roll, and that's it. Like there's not a firm like your pistol with a 30-foot range.
Right.
Yeah, it's you just tell me narratively what you're trying to do.
I don't have my knife right now.
Yeah. Okay. We'll kind of keep that order here. James, what are you
Okay.
gonna do? You've taken one to the shoulder. Shadano's gun kind of clatters to the ground next to him right after he shoots that. It looks like he's going for it again, though.
I'm gonna shoot. Yeah, I'm just gonna shoot him. I'm gonna use assault this time.
Yep.
What does the 4 on attack for the weapon mean anyway? Just check.
I think that's actually like for if you're using it in like proper combat. It doesn't. It actually. You would like you have assault, so assault would actually be the thing that's applying here.
Cool.
So
yeah,
it'll be D20 plus your trigger.
Alright, so I got a 12 on that one. I just
12.
kind of
Okay.
hold my shoulder and buck 2 back at Shannon.
Okay. Yep. And this time there's no as he's going for it. Instead, he stumbles from the impact of your high caliber round and kind of hits the ground next to his gun. Go. Or will, doesn't matter. Whichever one of y'all wants to.
I just figured we'd keep the flow. You good, Meg?
Funky flow. I'm good. Right. Okay, so person that is shot. Shoot, what do I want to do? I've just been staring at my thing here. She's going to try to the person that she just took the knee out of, the big guy, I guess that would be.
Yeah.
She's going to try to knock him out with take someone out. Like if
Okay.
his knee gives,
Yep,
then
go
she's
for it.
going to come in with the elbow straight across the temple.
Yep. Go for it. We'll say a difficulty here as you're trying to actually like knock him out.
It's an 11.
11. Yep. Okay. So he's like from the gunshot to the knee. He's kind of going down as you manage to close on him and bring the elbow up straight into his face. There's a very satisfying crunch, and he just goes straight back. He's out.
Hey, I think that's her turn.
Okay. Will. So, guys on the ground. Yeah, you've disarmed The woman, she doesn't look particularly. She's kind of scrambling for the knife again, probably.
Right.
And then Shadano's kind of on the ground, a little bit in between you and James. Also, sort of now a little bit more weakly after taking a high caliber gunshot, but is trying to still go for his gun.
I am going.
Hello, Mr. Puddins. We're skipping the mechs and just brawling with people in the street right now.
Right. No, I'm just trying to see. She's going.
Explain what you walked into, Mr. Puddins.
That's basically what's happening. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just hitting. I just hit a girl. So.
Fine, I just knocked someone out. It's cool. That's what we do.
Got somebody.
We're an equal opportunity.
I'm gonna try and kick away the knife, since it's obviously gonna be in close range. But then, with Shimano, I'm actually gonna go and try and basically same kind of idea. Go whatever he's gonna have a hand going for the gun. Go for wherever that is and smack and basically get his hand no, wrong, incorrect.
Okay, go
try
for it.
again.
Yep.
All right. And survey says 18.
18. Yep. Okay. So yeah, as his hand
Boom.
reaches out, you give it a good whack. Okay. Yeah. He recoils a little. You kick the gun away from, or you kick the knife a little bit further away.
Right.
Okay. Noir. Or James.
Alright, so this guy has been shot when he's still heading towards his gun, right?
A little bit. There's not a whole lot of.
Alright, can I do that? Can I run over and just put a foot on his neck and just kind of hold him down?
Yeah. I'll go. I'll give this one an accuracy between the fact that he's pretty beat up right now, and also Will's
oh my god,
helping you. So as you go for it, you get your foot down on him, failing to realize he has reached into a pocket to produce a holdout pistol, and there's a sharp crack. We'll say this for one more damage.
Okay.
As this one's a little bit. This is like a 380 or something.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Del.
Here we go. She's going to the girl who was going for her knife. How's she doing? Sorry, I think
she's like scrabbling at this point. It's now like a good few feet away from her.
I've kicked the knife away as well. Remember?
You kicked the knife away, so she's gonna go up behind her and put her in a choke and take her out.
Go for it. Yeah.
Sleeper.
One out. Oh, yeah, that's 17. Unless this was, I didn't add any difficulty or anything like that.
No, this is just a raw physical contest, and she's already been whacked a couple of times anyway. So, yeah, you managed to you get her solidly under control.
Yeah.
Will?
So she's got her under control. What is the state of the other two at this moment?
One guy's unconscious.
Yes. The guy is flat unconscious, having been shot,
just
and
the
then
third
just
guy.
out. So now it's just Shidano has pulled a holdout pistol, and shot James, who's kind of standing right over him.
But I'm saying, so third homie G Fresh is knocked out. She's got this one on sleeper hold.
Yeah.
So at that point, I guess I mean, really kind of same idea. I'm going to go up and try and go for... but in this case, I'm not going to go for the hand first. I'm going to go and basically try to sweep him. And then, assuming I manage to successfully do that, I'm actually going to try and sweep from the front. So that he kind of fall...
He's already he's like on the ground shooting up right now.
Okay, so cool. Yeah. So in that case, basically what I'm going to do is, honestly, I'm going to try and rush him.
Yep.
Take the stick and basically slam his arm down, like my baton, try to slam his arm down into him.
Okay,
and
kind of try to
pretty much just
control
immobilize him at that point.
Go for it.
14.
Yep. Okay. So with the second guy already knocked out, Dell manages to wrestle down the woman. Will and James, the two of you combined, manage to
Wonder Twin Powers.
Get Shadano under control. You get the second gun away from him, and he's pretty beat to hell. He's shot. A couple of the blows kind of landed pretty heavy on him. So y'all have one unconscious guy and two controlled people.
Right.
So should we take him back?
Yeah, we're calling for backup at this point.
Oh, don't worry. Backup's already been coming.
Yeah.
What?
You begin to hear sirens yelling and a very, very loud.
Oh, still got this girl in a hold. She's like, "You did what?"
Look,
Will!
I saw people with guns, and I know who has no problem with guns or knives. Harvey. And if you think, after everything you've seen me do, I don't have a literal oh shit button that I walk around with, you don't know who I am yet.
And finally, rounding the corner after a couple of moments, is indeed Neon's mech, which will blast over the speakers as you still, like, there's a small crowd kind of like a safe, like, couple blocks back that are like, yeah, what is, what the hell is going on here? But yeah, blasting over the loudspeaker, you'll hear Harvey's slightly glitchy voice. Howdy, boss!
Appreciate you, Harvey. We're just wrapping this up over here, but we may need to be dragging him back, so good on you.
An officer of the peace informed me I was not to enter the city. We may owe repairs for his constabulary vehicle.
We'll deal with that later.
But I came, boss! Just like you said!
So apparently... now I'm looking down at, homeboy. So apparently... I'm out a few dollars, so we're going to have a real serious discussion about what in the absolute hell just happened.
It's way easier to control them now, as they've completely given up fighting, as there is now a mech with a barrel they could climb in, lowered in their direction.
Right. We should call for backup. We should, I still got this girl. Can we please?
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm
just gonna just angle and poke at her Omni tool.
Okay, so are y'all kind of just gonna wait for...
We need somebody to actually physically take these people back, because we don't have restraints on us, I don't think.
Right, I mean, I wouldn't have had them prepped. So that's why...
Unless you want Dell to hold everybody in one big group headlock, which I don't think is gonna fly.
Well, right after Harvey
could hold them, but he might squish too hard.
It's Harvey does not know how strong he is. So
right after Harvey, you will definitely hear a number of sirens closing in.
Oh boy.
That's
I mean, I'm not one to complain usually, but we really could have left a much lower profile.
Of all people. You're talking about a low profile. Walter.
The only reason I'm not hitting you with this thing is because dude's got a gun. I need you to know that.
Just saying, Walter Concrete had it all handled.
Walter Concrete just got jumped in the back alley.
What was that first shot back there, Red Dragon?
I was imitating.
What was that all about? What were you shooting? The tree?
I was just like, I'm just gonna harness the skill of my brother with his heat gun. And then I was like,
killing my brother.
So you totally had that handled, for sure.
A number of police vehicles will round the corner with everything. It looks like they could scramble together. Nowhere near enough to take a mech, but a number of them are like pointing guns hesitantly up at it.
Right.
Don't even bother.
I'll say it's fine. That's my mech. We're with Union. It was an emergency situation, and we have some people to bring in.
Yeah, so it's finally like the person in charge will, the most senior, a lieutenant probably, will get up to you, like, very hesitantly, still looking at the mech. Union, what the hell happened?
Well, okay. So, Bubala over here and Big Buddy pulled out guns, and she, the Jade Princess over there, pulled out a knife. Apparently, she was going to pull some sort of martial arts routine, and so he thought he was shooting, I guess, but me and her mostly kind of wrapped this one up because they came to attack us, and as soon as I saw weapons drawn, knowing our situation, I was like, well, let me get some backup. And unfortunately, the only backup I have a one-button push to call is a little bit taller than your average person. So, desperate times.
Yeah, he gives you, in the future, if you could avoid that, I presume Union will be paying for the truck.
Union, right. Yes.
These
Absolutely.
You
totally.
said these
Just
three.
Send them a bill. They'll take care of it. Patch it right up. Right as rain.
These are the three who assaulted you?
Yes.
We'll be taking them into custody for interrogation.
And he'll kind of like wave up some officers who start handcuffing. Shadana's the only one that really needs serious medical. Well, no, wait, one of them got shot. Yeah, the guy did get shot. So that like a combination of they'll be handcuffed to
a stretcher.
to stretchers, yeah, as they're taken away.
It's non-lethal.
Technically, I didn't shoot anyone.
No, you did fine. I shot people.
I also shot people.
We shot people.
There was definitely assault and battery, but it was defensive, so...
I
do want to stress that this whole time I am still pinning Buddy to the ground just because it just feels good.
Yeah, a couple of officers will come over and kind of take over and wrestle some. Well, at this point he's kind of getting close to unconsciousness here. He's pretty out of it.
He got hit pretty hard.
Yeah. They flip him up onto a.
Gotta get checked for concussion.
Pretty much up onto a stretcher, and he looks pretty like unmoving. And the lieutenant will say, "Well, we'll take care of these three, get them processed, and if you wouldn't mind getting that mech out of my city in the meantime."
Let me take care of that. Also, if you want to... I'm not going to encourage police brutality, but all I'm saying is I didn't see anything if you give him a few good whacks. I'll go.
Why don't
I'll move. I'll move him. I'll move him. I'm going to go move him.
Why don't you come back in the morning, and we'll let you know what we got from him.
Fair.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna kind of look at the cops like, I'm so sorry for him. I don't. He's usually better than this.
Yeah, I'm usually better than this. I usually don't have a gun pointed at me.
He's a lot.
No.
It's okay.
Not like this, anyways. It's a bigger... I'm gonna go move him. I'm gonna go move him, because there's really not a lot here.
Yeah, and then by the time you get in, your radio is just on fire.
Oh no. Oh no.
Commander Kierson is just... What in the hell is going on there? Why the hell is there a mech in the city? Are y'all under attack? What is happening?
I mean...
Boy, would you like to know.
Get your back out of the city. Dell's gonna take the car and James back. I assume Dell is driving because James is wounded.
Yes.
The medics will patch you up enough that they pronounce you safe enough for the drive back to the first city if y'all are trying to get there tonight.
Yeah.
And it's pretty late. It's not, y'all will get there midnight-ish probably.
Been up all day. Another 16 hours.
While I'm in the passenger seat just bleeding, I'm just gonna kind of... I'm just gonna look over and go, I was right.
You were right about what?
Everything. Just say it.
I'm coming, Elizabeth.
I was right.
Okay.
You're just gonna
yeah.
comfort yourself by saying that they patched you up. You are being a baby right now.
Shut up, I'm tired.
Y'all get back. Y'all get they fully patch up. James, a couple of days of some treatment. You'll be fine. I presume y'all are going back the next morning to...
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who all's going? All of y'all still?
Definitely like to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, y'all arrive back in the city, heading to the police headquarters. When y'all arrive, y'all are put in... y'all pretty much sit in the main... you're in the waiting room, and time passes. An hour passes. 2 hours pass. About 2.5 hours, finally somebody will come in and kind of usher you in. You are brought into an office with a detective. Who just kind of glances up as you come in, kind of puts some papers down. He gives you all kind of almost suspicious glance. So you all had quite the scrap last night. Ran a mech through the city and all that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe reckless behavior on display from us, I'm gonna say.
It wasn't through the whole city, for starters. It was just the most advantageous route. And it's not like I fired any weapons. So, you know, I believe you were. I believe that probably wasn't your main point.
There
Oh no,
was
please, anything
an
you have to say for yourselves.
There was an altercation, and we acted in self-defense.
Oh,
Right.
really?
Yes.
Tell me more.
Well, I exposed a group of radicals in the second city that have planned an assault on the first city and their printer. However, through no fault of our own, we were made. And we had to defend ourselves accordingly with varying amounts of resistance.
It's a good story. Want to hear another one?
Sure.
Pack of Union thugs decide to come into the city, find a couple of people who maybe don't agree with them, and rough them up under the watchful eyes of their mech, just in case they lose the fight.
Okay, listen. First of all, if that's the case, the police showed up right after the fact. Like, almost immediately after the mech. How were they already subdued on the ground?
I'm sure the investigation will unveil more timelines, but these things, they take time. Might be weeks, months. Who knows?
Yeah. Facts don't matter. It's all about perception. And we did not leave a good impression just now.
Not particularly.
No. It's
But we got info.
it's not how we typically operate, and we would apologize to the police here in the second city and the citizens for any undue harm that we caused in our investigation.
Well, none of the victims wanted to press charges, so
I wonder why.
They're
Sure, it has nothing to do
recruiting
with the 5 weapons.
these extremists. They are
extremists.
ready.
Mhm.
We do need to bring them to Union to interrogate them as well.
The victims?
The suspects.
They've already been released.
Under what
Made
grounds?
that dumbass decision.
Will's just gonna...
We're not in the habit of keeping victims of assault in handcuffs.
Listen, we
Ooh, that's a. Are you
we
sure?
understand. I want you to understand, I fully understand where we stand right now.
That's good. There is a knowing glance exchanged. Y'all be safe getting back home.
We will. And Will's just gonna kind of just immediately start walking off and just assuming these two are gonna...
Yep. Dell's gonna linger for just a second and
Yeah,
then follow Will.
So is James. James gonna linger and they just kind of what the fuck was that? And then
Not here.
head off to follow you guys.
But once we're outside of there, Will can tell James, brother, this thing goes way deeper than we thought.
And I
We
presume
put it
we
this
are.
way: we may have found the Ace's army last night. We didn't find the whole thing.
Fuck.
But I'm starting to get an idea of where the rest of it is.
Can we go back to sleep now? This is bullshit.
We need to get back and debrief the CO, and then hopefully we can rest. But right now we need to prep because that was a threat. So we should go.
We can fucking take him. But okay.
Listen, we do not want to make this entire planet angry at Union because we would be rightfully fighting back against them. We have to do this the right way. Okay. We don't want to cause a civil war.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry that logic hurts your brain sometimes, but you need to follow it.
I'm listening. I'm following. Let's go.
You're gonna have to drive.
Okay.
She's actually got her. She's prepared to be shooting at windows if need be.
There
That's
we
why
go.
she's not driving.
Somebody in this group can actually roll the drive. The full weight of the things, being threatened by the local authorities, and the full weight of things really strikes you and focuses you for the rapid drive home.
I Tokyo drift over that ditch. It's beautifully. And as the car floats over it, I just give it a finger. And then
The ditch.
All right, so it's about 7:45. I want to get out of here before 8. So what's the plan for next week? We'll do our
I
big
gotta take some more downtime.
debrief.
Yeah, we need to debrief.
Right.
We're gonna be doing
We
the full debrief for Ranger. Get him all caught up with everything.
Oh, Ranger's gonna be so mad.
That's what you got to be mad about. We did everything.
Well,
by
take
the
the entire explanation I gave earlier of everything that happened, and he could be like, anything else? And I would be like, no! Maybe.
Also,
May have marched my mech through a civilian area and stepped on a police car.
It turns out those guys are jerks anyway.
All cops are bad. Yeah, I said it. I fucking said it.
I am not gonna dispute you, man.
I'm not taking it back. And what?
But we're the cops.
Yeah, and look what we've done.
Oh God, we've entered a cop paradox.
All right, so what else are y'all planning on doing so I can
Go. Shit.
get everything prepared?
Prepared. I don't think we have any more downtime that we can add. I haven't used mine, so I don't think I can do anything. But other than that, no, Dell's probably gonna do. If there is any downtime, Dell's just gonna do a little bit of training.
We'll probably do a little bit. We'll do some downtime stuff as y'all get finish up the mechs.
Finish up the mechs, do the
Get
debrief,
everything. Y'all have a little bit of
scream
of
into the
time.
void.
What other plan? Where are y'all going from here?
I have no idea.
We know what their plan is.
Okay.
They have to take the printer.
It also means, well, actually, as much as I dislike Walter,
Oh boy, is it?
we technically have someone who's going to know precisely when the attack happens.
Walter motherfucking Cockray.
Do we? I think they probably changed their ETA after the other night.
Oh, they may have changed the ETA, but James, who works for Union, nobody likes him. Walter wasn't in any fights.
From an authoritarian police perspective, yes, but he did take off his makeup in front of.
That was only in front of the three
Buddy.
that tracked
Yeah,
us.
unless they snitched. Which, how likely does that seem?
I don't know. They might have been too dead to snitch.
They're not dead.
Well, well, one of them might be. Let's just.
Well, one of them got hit real hard.
you beat the hell out of that.
We hit him twice.
Head trauma's a,
I'm
you
not-
know, it's,
I'm not
it's a thing.
saying nothing.
We're gonna
I'm
roll
saying,
some dice later and see.
I'm not saying nothing. I'm saying I took my baton and somehow traumatized 2 people with a metal stick.
You
Less
did
than
do
you
that.
did with not a metal stick. So I just
Some of us.
listen. I give props. I'm impressed.
Some of us are human weapons, and that's just how it is.
I'm impressed by it.
I mean, I would much rather start, like, if we have downtime, build a new identity.
Okay, yeah, you don't have time.
Anyway.
We'll, like I said, we'll probably do some
Yeah.
downtime stuff. I like people having a chance to do stuff.
Okay.
So we'll do that. We'll catch Vey up, and we'll see. Y'all got some intelligence. Maybe something can come of that.
We got something.
Right.
Okay.
We did get information. This was very informative. We are in trouble. That is the
It was
information
indeed.
we got.
I was wondering. I was like, okay, well, I mean, if they take these guys back, they can definitely interrogate them, get some information.
I mean, don't
I wonder if they'll do that, or if they'll give them
Yeah,
up.
so I'm building my new identity, Lester Holt.
Lester Holtz.
All right, so with that, I think we're about wrapped up. Thank everybody for coming. Thanks for checking this out and watching. We'll be back next week at 5 to figure out where we're going from here. Hope everyone has a great week. We'll see you guys.